Peace, fam. What's the deal? It's been a while, but you know what to do. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit subscribe. This is just going to be a short video on the happenings that have been going on. Obviously, things are all hot in Maine, but we're going to get right into the topic of the mass shooting up in Maine with this dude here, Robert Card. And hold on, folks. Oh, here we go. All right, man. Yeah, another day, another mass shooting. Hope everybody's doing well. Is most of you gonna wake up to this anyways? It's gonna be a shitty way to wake up to your Thursday. But yeah, this character right here, for some strange reason, decided to. Well, there is a reason. Well, according to them, but we'll get into that. I guess he decided to go to a bowling alley and just start mowing down everybody in sight. And I had put this on my community wall where, let's face it, I mean, Walmart, um, the dollar store, supermarkets, all right, shopping malls, hotels, now a freaking bowling alley, all right. And when you talk about locations, I mean, doesn't matter whether it's Compton or Maine. I mean, it's like nowhere is safe. Nowhere is safe, and we try to make it like some areas are a little bit more secure than others. That's not exactly the case. Let's but I did want to learn a little bit about who this dude is. I guess former military dude who 41 years old. Again, 22 people died. Right? 22 people, well, not died, 22 people got murdered. All right. Or deleted, excuse me. You know how ScrewTube is. They got deleted. All right. And at this point, I guess it's early morning. So after seeing this guy on camera doing what he did, they're labeling him a person of interest. Now, obviously, if we know that this is the guy who did it, I'm just saying, I mean, you know, if he were another shade, it would be, delete to shoot to kill. But obviously they have to say certain things. Obviously, the whole mental illness that came up. All right. You're quick to jump on that. Now, when you go into this guy's history, again, 41-year-old resident. Let's see, from what I understand, he's a shooting instructor. Well, he's 40 years old. He's a shooting instructor, teaches about weapons. He's actually been taken in before for his mental illness. Now, he's mentally ill and he's a military instructor. Now, obviously, when you look at the pictures, he's had a few mugshots and he's had a couple of run-ins with the law. I mean, this is a mugshot, obviously, right? But come on, guys. I mean, what's my only thing with something that happens here is that this is a state, by the way, Maine, 90% white. So if this was in the hood somewhere, people would be screaming black on black crime. 90% white. Obviously, they didn't deserve to die either. All right. I'm not saying that, but the media would hop on this in 2 seconds. Now, what's ironic too is that today, I guess, I don't know, that for some reason, they're still trying to figure out whether Derek Chauvin, who used George Floyd's neck as a piece of flour and his knee as a rolling pin, and we watched that gruesome 8-minute tape of him snuffing them out. Well, apparently they're still trying to figure out whether Derek Chauvin actually killed George Floyd. It's ironic that this happens on the day that the most obvious, the most obvious taking of a life, okay, is still being determined. Meanwhile, another obvious taking of a life, which was caught on camera as well, and they're still trying to figure out, well, is this a person, is this a person of interest? Now I know they got to do their due diligence. I get it. The entire state, I guess, is locked down. I'm thinking this guy's just gonna off himself. I mean, no way he's gonna escape. His face is all over, it's on worldwide news at this point, nationwide. I think that this guy's probably gonna go to some, you know, remote area and just off himself or something. Because where could he go? I mean, unless he has an accomplice, which we'll see. But that's my guess. I think that this dude is just gonna basically off himself. But here's my question. From what I understand, Maine is pretty loose with their gun laws, right? And a lot of these states that this happens with, they're pretty loose with their gun laws. And at the end of the day, people are going to be, wringing their hands and, we got to get the guns out of here. We got to change the laws. Folks, nothing's going to happen. All right. I mean, let's just go down the list of some of the, some of the mass shootings that have happened in this country. I mean, remember the Las Vegas concert about 6 years ago? Guy up on the roof mowing down people. He just mowed down about 50 people up on the roof. And I think he had killed himself. I forgot what happened to him, but I do remember the Las Vegas concert where he just started spraying people and just killed as many people as he could. Of course, the Orlando nightclub shooting, the gay nightclub in Orlando, the Virginia Tech shooting. All right. The Asian guy, I think, did it. Of course, another, disgruntled rich white kid in Sandy Hook. We remember that one. I guess he and his mother got into an argument. And I guess, maybe he got his feelings hurt or something. And he decided, you know what, I'm so mad. I'm just going to, go out to a school and just mow down a bunch of innocent kids. All right. The Sutherland Springs Church in 2017, Luby shooting. Okay. I'm just reading these off, but and I didn't even go through the amount. Excuse me for doing that. Las Vegas concert, about 60 people got killed. Right. The Orlando nightclub, 49 people got killed. Virginia Tech, 32 people got killed. All right. Sandy Hook, 27 children killed. All right. Sutherland Springs Church, 25 people killed. The Luby shooting. All right. That was back in 91. Okay. And 23 people got killed. El Paso Walmart. That was in 2019. 23 people got killed. San Isidro McDonald's. That was in 84. So this has been happening for a while. All right. And then I know it really kind of blew up with Columbine, but by then you couldn't really sweep it on the rug now, could you? So that one, you had 21 people got killed. The Robb Elementary, 22. Stoneman Douglas High, you had 17 people. And we can just go on and on and on, folks. You forgot the synagogue up here. I mean, but they're never going to get the guns off the street. They are not going to do it, folks. All right. So, but what I find interesting is this. Most of these places where these things happen are where they're pretty loose. They're pretty loose with the gun laws. All right. Maine is a permitless carry state. You understand? It's a carry state. And they didn't have much gun violence up to this point. I'm guessing that'll change now. But here's my question, though. If these guys are so interested in having their own guns and don't take the guns out of their hands, like obviously people are using these guns for recreational purposes on human beings. If you yourself have a gun and you're not doing that, how come when none of these guys are ever around with their own gun to stop this type of violence? I mean, maybe it happens that they just may not happen to be there at the time, but I'm guessing some of them are. And if you pushing to get your own gun, I think, and this will probably, I know this was kind of Pollyanna thinking, but I'll just say it anyways. How about if these things happen, then you automatically are supposed to I would say like you're a temporary cop, all right? Since you have the firearm, you basically, if you see something like this happen, you should be obligated by law to jump in and try to stop it. All right. What happened up in, well, I mean, I guess Buffalo's a bad example because, the security guard did, try to mow down that monster. So, they should build a statue of that dude, to be honest with you. But in places with the open carry state, if you see something like this happening, all right, you should be obligated to jump in with your gun that you carry around and try to stop it. And this is by law, all right? Since people want to carry their guns, I mean, what do you need? I still am wondering what you need an automatic rifle for if you're not, unless you're going overseas and going to war and you're fighting some other country. What do you need an automatic rifle for? So I just find it interesting that in any of these cases, you never have one of these quote unquote good, responsible citizens with guns that happen to be around when something like this happens. And this one right here, this is interesting again. A guy who knows guns, knows weapons, trains weapons, but had mental issues now. I mean, but he was still allowed to do this. So I don't know if he did it on the side or whatever, but it's tragic, man. 22 people get mowed down. For what? 22 people get mowed down. He's a military veteran. This guy's a military veteran. All right. So, and I'm guessing, I don't know, but I am guessing that this guy's, a MAGA nut. That's just my guess. So we'll see what happens. He's still on the run, from what I understand. I think you're gonna find him slumped over in a car or some remote area, maybe in a house or something, because Maine is a fairly small. I mean, they basically got that place covered. I don't think that this guy is gonna go over the border. I mean, anyone who's traveled to Canada as many times as I have done many times, all right, you can't just sneak into Canada. That's just not going to happen. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's just tragic. But I just find that interesting that you can't ever find any of these heroes with guns, with their own guns, ever whenever these things happen. You never find them. And again, they are not going to take away. You can mass shoot, 50 churches, or you name the quiet environment. But it just means you just got to be aware, man, because obviously this can happen. A bowling alley, folks, a bowling alley. Like what's next? I mean, so, but they are not good. You're gonna see it tomorrow, and you're gonna see the NRA make yet another goofy statement. And again, there is a racial component here too, because Maine is like 90+% white, right? 90+% white. And Yet again, it's another white male. We get profiled constantly for, stop and frisk and all that other stuff. And we don't do anything near what these guys do. So we'll see what happens with it, but it's unfortunate. But yeah, man, nothing's gonna happen. It's just basically, but I think that my idea is a great idea. Okay, if you since you want to have the guns and you want to hold it so much, you should be obligated whenever something like this happens to pull out your strap and take care of business. And if you don't, then yeah, then maybe there should be a fine. But listen, hit the like button, like I said, hit share, hit subscribe. Like I said, I think this dude is gonna my personal opinion, this dude is probably gonna be slumped over in his car somewhere, by from basically taking himself out. That's my opinion, and hopefully, that's the case. If they take this guy in quietly, by the way, all right. I mean, I'll have some questions. Like, again, you see the pictures and everything. If somehow he goes in quietly, peacefully, like Dylan Ruth did, that'll be a problem for me. But listen, comment, like I said, like, share, subscribe. Thanks for listening. Yeah, and I'll come with more soon. There is someone I plan to address. Uh, you'll see. But yeah, thanks for listening, folks, and peace, and stay safe out there, man. Scene, I'm out of here.